if your student has had Barton Book 2, they've learned how to blend words to read and to segment words for spelling. So in Book 3 of Barton, this is on page 15, we're going to introduce sight words. Sight words students have to know by sight. Typically they cannot sound them out, which means they can't blend them to read them, or it could be a more advanced skill that they haven't been taught yet. But what we're going to do in Barton Book 3, we're going to start to introduce sight words, and the way we do that is have your student read through their first list. And if they can read them all, well then you'd give them all a check mark. And then, but if they can't, that's okay. You're just going to check mark the ones that they can read. You're going to know which ones they need extra practice. Now we're going to go to the spelling. So now you're going to give your students a spelling test to see which sight words they can spell. Once they get to 3 misspelled words, you can stop giving them the spelling test. And then you're going to make a word card like on these index cards. Are they in there? So let's say, for example, your student spelled the word was, W-U-Z. Well, you make the tricky letter that's hard for them, you make it red. So now it's W-A-S. So in of, it depends, they could have missed either one, but you need to make the red letter that seems to be the most difficult for your child. But you also want that red letter typically in the middle of the word. So then to teach this word as a sight word, you're going to do it in groups of 2, 4 different things. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to hold up this card to your student and say the word is was. And you're going to have them read it. Was. How do you spell was? W-A-Z. And they can look at the card and spell the word was again. W-A, I spelled it wrong, W-A-S. And then I'm going to spell it again, W-A-S. Now you're going to hide the card, flip it over. They need to close their eyes and they need to visualize the word in their head. And they're going to spell the word was to you with their eyes closed. If they don't want to close their eyes, that's okay. They can open their eyes and pretend to see the word on the wall. So now I need you to spell the word was, W-A-S. Spell the word was, W-A-S. Now take your fingers and spell the word was, W-A-S. Notice the words are a little bit big so they can get their arms into the word. Spell the word was twice on the table with their fingers, W-A-S, W-A-S. Then you're going to get paper on their handwriting paper and they're going to write it on paper, W-A-S, W-A-S. Then you're going to repeat that process for the other 2 words that they misspelled. So, and you're going to do no more than 3 sight word spelling. And in the beginning, you might want to just start out with 1 because it's a new process, new concept. So just to rehash what we talked about, sight words, they need to know by sight. You can't sound it out. So we're going to do it differently. We're going to say the letter name as we practice spelling it. So they're going to look at the card and spell it. Then they're going to close their eyes and visualize it. Then 2 fingers on the table, and then spelling it on paper, and each step is 2 times. Then after they master spelling the word correctly, 3 to 5 times, you're going to give them a check after each time they spell it correctly. If they miss one, they got to start back over, and you want them to get it at least 3 times in a row. And then you only practice reading the words that they're spelling. So if their sight words or spelling are in this list, then they're only practicing reading this each time. And I would do this at the beginning of every lesson and at the end of every lesson.